The Cravathi hunting master coiled its 6 muscular limbs beneath its armored carapace, electromagnetic sensors pulsing as it tracked the heat signature moving through the dense foliage of Outpost Meridian. The creature's reputation preceded it across 17 star systems. Apex predator, unstoppable force, the living nightmare that had driven 3 intelligent species to extinction. Commander Chen moved through the undergrowth with deliberate steps, her breathing steady, her rifle held low. She knew the Cravathi was watching. She'd known for the past 20 minutes. Above her, perched on a crystalline observation platform, Ambassador Velix of the Therian Concordance watched the scene unfold with 4 of his eyes, while the other 2 monitored the biometric readouts. His translator implant crackled. "Your human is going to die," Velix stated flatly. "The Cravathi has never failed a hunt. Protocol demands we intervene." The other human on the platform, Dr. Sarah Okonkwo, didn't look up from her datapad. "Protocol suggests intervention. It doesn't demand it. There's a difference. Semantics won't resurrect your commander. Neither will panicking." Sarah's fingers danced across the holographic display. "Just watch." Below, the Cravathi struck. It moved like liquid death, crossing 40 meters in 1.3 seconds, mandibles extended, killing claws deployed. The humans had called it the Reaper after first contact, when it had slaughtered an entire survey team on Kepler 442b. Since then, it had become the galaxy's most efficient contract killer, hired by cartels and corporations to eliminate problems that standard warfare couldn't touch. Commander Chen didn't run. She pivoted, planted her feet and fired 3 rounds into the ground directly in front of the charging predator. The Cravathi's electromagnetic field detected the rounds, high-density metallic slugs that would barely scratch its armor. It adjusted trajectory, circling left. Chen fired again, not at the creature, into the air, into the trees, creating noise, pattern, chaos. The Cravathi stopped. For exactly 2.7 seconds, the most feared predator in known space stood absolutely still, its sensor array processing what should have been a simple termination. Its prey wasn't fleeing, wasn't cowering, was actively engaging in behavior that made no tactical sense. Then Chen did something that caused Velix's breathing spiracles to seal in shock. She laughed. "Come on then," Chen shouted, her voice carrying across the clearing. "I've been jogging for 40 minutes, you've been following for 20. If you were going to kill me, you'd have done it already." She turned her back on the Cravathi and began walking toward the facility entrance. The predator's neural cortex fired in patterns it had never experienced before. Every instinct, every hardwired hunting algorithm, every evolutionary advantage that had made the Cravathi the galaxy's apex killer screamed at it to strike. The prey was vulnerable, exposed, easy. It didn't move. "Impossible," Velix whispered. "It should tear her apart." "Should is an interesting word," Sarah replied, finally looking up. "Do you know what humanity's greatest evolutionary advantage is, Ambassador? Opposable thumbs? Tool use? Your disturbing capacity for violence? Persistence." On the ground below, Chen had stopped and turned around. The Cravathi remained frozen, its sensory organs locked on her. "You know what's interesting?" Chen called out. "Every predator in Earth's history had to make a calculation. Is this prey worth the energy? Will it fight back? Could I get injured? Could I waste resources?" She took a step forward. "Predators are efficient, they have to be. But humans, we're different." She took another step. "We're the species that chased prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. We're the ones who threw rocks at predators until they decided we weren't worth the trouble. We're the species that looked at creatures that could kill us in seconds and said, 'Not today.' Another step. We didn't evolve to be the strongest or the fastest. We evolved to be too damn stubborn to know when to quit." The Cravathi's combat computer ran probability matrices. Success rate 98.7%. Optimal kill vectors 17. Time to termination 0.4 seconds. But there was a new variable, one that hadn't existed in any previous hunt. Uncertainty. Chen was now within striking distance. She reached into her jacket pocket. The Cravathie's claws extended reflexively. She pulled out a protein bar. "You've been watching me eat these for 20 minutes. I brought an extra." She tossed it toward the Cravathie. It landed 3 meters in front of the creature. "Figured. You might be curious about the species crazy enough to go jogging on a planet with something like you on it." For 17 seconds, nothing happened. Then, with movements that seemed almost cautious, the Cravathie retreated, not fleeing, withdrawing. Its sensor array remained locked on Chen as it backed into the forest, collected its equipment, and vanished into the canopy. Velix's translator struggled with the sound the ambassador made. His species had no equivalent for stunned silence. "How?" he finally managed. Sarah smiled. "The Cravathie is an apex predator, perfect killing machine, but it's also intelligent. Intelligent enough to recognize when prey doesn't behave like prey." She gestured to the forest. "That thing has hunted thousands of species. It knows fear. It knows flight. It knows fight." "And Commander Chen?" Chen showed it something new. She showed it a species that doesn't categorize itself as prey. A species that looks at the most dangerous predator in the galaxy and treats it like a jogging companion who's running a bit too close. Sarah's smile widened. "The Cravathie just learned what every predator on Earth learned the hard way, which is that humans don't survive because we're stronger or faster. We survive because we convince everything else that eating us is more trouble than it's worth. We're the galaxy's persistence predators, Ambassador. And now the Cravathie knows it." Below, Commander Chen finished her protein bar and resumed her jog. The Cravathie, for the first time in its evolutionary history, chose not to follow. In the vast databanks of the Assassins Guild, a new notation appeared next to humanity's entry: non-optimal prey. Risk assessment uncertain. Recommended action avoid. The galaxy's most feared predator had learned what Earth's predators had known for millennia. Sometimes the most dangerous prey is the one that refuses to run.